Hi, this video is going to give a quick overview of how to hook up a mobile trailer on site. So first, make sure that foot pads are under the landing gear legs when the trailer is lowered into place. Once the tractor pulls away, you want to hook up power to both receptacles, both the utility and the control power. Next, hook up the inlet hose or hoses. It can take one or two. And to understand which one you need, if the water supply is less than 150 gallons per minute, then you can just use one hose. And it doesn't matter which inlet valve you use, on the left or right, but just use one hose. If the flow is greater than 150 gallons per minute, greater than 150, but less than 400 gallons per minute, then you can use two hoses. You'll need to use two hoses. The hoses use a 2.5-inch fire hose connection, and the trailer should have two hoses on board the trailer. Each one is 50 feet in length. Now make sure that the feed water source to the trailer is de-energized because the trailer is not ready for flow yet. Now you want to hook up your outlet hose or hoses. Again, it's the same with the inlet. One hose will work if the flow is less than 150 gallons per minute, and you'll need two hoses on the outlet if the flow is greater than 150 gallons a minute. The outlet hoses will need to be connected to a drain or a storage tank that is designated to accept the water during the rinse up process. So what we're going to do first is fill up the tanks inside the trailer and purge the air from these tanks inside the trailer. Then we'll rinse up the tanks to quality, and that rinse up water needs to be directed wherever the customer wants it to go. Then after it's rinsed up to quality, the outlet hoses will be reconnected to where the customer wants the deionized water to go. Usually it's a DI water storage tank. Okay, so after you have the inlet and outlet hoses attached, you want to keep the outlet valves closed. Then you go to the side of the trailer and open the panel. There's 14 valves on the inside of the trailer panel. These valves are opened. You want to open these valves so that the air in the tanks inside the trailer can escape when you begin to fill water inside of the tanks. So those valves are all open. Next, you go to the other side of the trailer and there's a PLC control panel. And you want to open that. You want to press the quality bypass button. And look on the screen. At the top of the screen, you'll see a 10-minute countdown timer begin. Now, on the bank select switch, select the switch so it's pointing towards bank A and B. Okay, now go to the front of the trailer and open the inlet valve about 25% of the way, just a quarter of the way. Now go to your water source, whether it's an RO system or whatever it is, and you want to energize your water source to the trailer. So water will begin to fill the tanks inside of the trailer. The outlet valves are still closed. You want to go to the side of the trailer with the 14 valves, and you want to monitor these air bleed valves. You can put your hand on them just to confirm that air is coming out of them. They'll bleed air. Eventually water will flow out of them, and as the water flows out of them, you can close them when a steady stream of water comes out. When all valves have been bled of air and water is coming out, then close all of these valves and you can close the panel door and keep it shut. Now, come to the front of the trailer, check the inlet and outlet pressure gauges. They should read the same, and the tanks are now full of water. So now you can slowly open the outlet valve, or valves if you have two of them connected. Eventually open them to 100%, but remember, do this very slowly to prevent water hammer. Now slowly open your inlet valve, or valves if you have two hoses connected. Open them slowly, and eventually you'll open them 100% so they're fully open. So now the trailer is rinsing up to quality. So now you want to go to the PLC screen and monitor the water quality. Once the water quality, the product water quality, rinses below 1 microsiemen, the trailer is rinsed up and ready. But we're not done yet. Now we need to put the outlet hoses to the storage tank, the DI water storage tank, or whatever destination that the customer wants the deionized water to go to. So this is what you do. You need to de-energize the water source to the trailer. After you do that, then slowly close the inlet valve or valves. Make sure that the inlet valves are closed. And then slowly close the outlet valves. Before you remove the outlet hoses, you want to make sure you bleed pressure off the hoses. Now you can disconnect the outlet hoses and connect them to the DI water storage tank. Once you do this and the outlet hoses are all set, now you can open the inlet valve a quarter of the way, about 25%. Now, and then you can energize the water source once again to the trailer. Once this happens and water's flowing into the trailer again, then you can slowly open the outlet valve or valves on the trailer until they are completely open. Once this is done, then you can slowly open the inlet valves all the way to 100%, but you want to do this slowly. And then there's one last thing to do. If the flow rate is below 150 gallons per minute, then you want to go to the PLC panel, to the PLC screen, and select Bank A. Move the switch to Bank A. If the flow is greater than 150 gallons per minute, then keep the switch on Bank A and B together. That's because more than 150 gallons per minute is too much flow for just one bank of tanks. And with that high of a flow, you'll need both banks to handle the flow. Now the trailer is running and you've done your job getting the trailer operational, but there are some important things to go over. The first is understanding what happens when the trailer exhausts and the water quality begins to drop. So when the deionized water leaving the trailer goes above 1 microsiemen, then the inlet to the trailer will close, so that it will not produce any more off-spec water. There will also be an audible alarm and a red light at the front of the trailer that goes on to give you notice that the trailer is exhausted. Now, if you were running both banks at the same time, Bank A and B, then the trailer is done and ready for exchange. However, if you were running only Bank A, then you still have Bank B. So you can switch over to Bank B and keep producing water. But keep in mind, during a quality shutdown due to high conductivity, if you press the quality bypass button, then you will have 10 minutes where the inlet valve will remain open and the system will ignore the low quality condition and water will flow. But keep in mind that you might have off-spec water. You can always monitor the PLC screen to see real-time water quality. Something to be aware of, if you have an RO system feeding the trailer, then the RO permeate is going to deadhead against the trailer when the inlet valve is closed due to product conductivity going above 1 microsiemen. And if the water pressure climbs above 80 psi, then the pressure relief valve will open and water will bleed out of this 3-inch pressure relief valve. When the trailer needs to be exchanged, or if you have any questions, you can call us anytime at 1-800-906-6060. You can also email us at dispatch@puretecwater.com. Thank you.